Well, hey guys, welcome to Star Wars on High. Thank you for stopping by. We are back and we have officially passed the halfway point of Kenobi. Episode 4, I just had a chance to watch on these release days because I have to work. I have to delete Twitter and YouTube and just ignore everything until I can come home and watch it spoiler free. And so I don't know how the whole community felt. I do know I don't think Star Wars Theory was a huge fan, and of course it's the day the Order 66 hat I had came in and I wore, so maybe not the best time to pull this hat out, but nonetheless, gonna give you guys my thoughts on episode 4. This was definitely a more action-packed episode. I thought it went pretty quick, honestly. I sat down and it just kind of blew by. I thought it went really fast. So our last two episodes will have a lot to do to kind of close us out here. For me, there was some really positives to this episode, and there were a couple weaker spots. I think overall this episode was solid. I do think it's probably in the weaker half of the 4. I think episode 1 and 3 are really good. So I would go episode 1, then 3, then 4, then 2. I still think 2 was the weakest episode for me. I thought this one was significantly better than that. And so what worked, what didn't? Well, what I really enjoyed were a couple moments in here. I thought Obi-Wan going to the back to tank and kind of his comparison with Anakin was fun. A little rushed. I feel like they could have spent some more time with that. The episode moved really quite quickly. And so that was something I would like to see a little bit more of, but I did like what I got. Really enjoyed the Leia and Kenobi moments at the end. I thought the music in the end, along with that emotional kind of connection between them, was really, really solid. I liked, and just from a quick glance on Twitter, I guess I'm in the minority, but I liked Vader in this episode. So I liked that Vader came in and was like, hey, I don't accept failure. Like, you don't fail. And obviously we find out she didn't really fail, and he puts her down and mentions he might have underestimated her. I thought that scene was really cool. I think some people didn't like that. I heard some people say Vader was throwing a tantrum, which I did not read at all. And I did hear some folks say that it kind of undermines the fact that he seemed to be okay with letting Kenobi go at the end, but then he was really riled up when they kind of lost their bait. Well, I think there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I think, yeah, Vader absolutely let him go. I think the plan was to hopefully uncover more about the rebel operations, and Vader thought that opportunity was gone. And then he found out it was not. So I kind of think that was the reaction there. But I enjoyed that scene. I guess I was in the minority. I really liked the scenery. I thought Inquisitorius looked fantastic. I really liked the under the sea vibes, these really eerie green windows out. It looked phenomenal. Really liked the set throughout this episode. Tower Inquisitorius looked really good. Additionally, I also I liked the kind of Jedi. I guess Jedi tomb they had in the bottom of the tower. I'm not sure what the reason is for that. Maybe they'll explain it in a later episode. But just from kind of a cool visual, like, this is a dark fortress with the bodies of dead Force users. I kind of like that. I don't know. Like, it just felt kind of hardcore, a little maybe comic-y in kind of a fun way for me. So that kind of stuck out as well. I thought the really cool. I mean, again, I don't know what the internet's saying, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like these things, but I thought Obi-Wan coming to the dark room with the stormtroopers, lighting it up, cutting them down, lighting it back up, cutting them down was really cool. And that stuck out to me. It's kind of cool to see him use his lightsaber a little bit more as he's kind of becoming reacquainted with the Force and making that connection. What were some of the weaker moments? There were one more strong moment. I actually liked some of the nuance that Reva showed in this episode. They kind of hinted towards her backstory, so I thought some of that dialogue with her and Leia was pretty fun. And so I thought that was kind of another one of the more solid points. What didn't work? There was a couple things in particular for me that stick out as weaker spots. The snow speeder CGI in the tunnel hangar when it's shooting at Reva and it looks like this close to her looked really bad. It was really, really bad CGI. I think Marvel has a habit of putting some bad CGI. Disney and Star Wars and Marvel, all those projects in Disney Plus have had some moments in their shows where I'm like in Moon Knight, which I really liked. There was a couple shots of CGI. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. This is nitpicking, by the way. It doesn't change my enjoyment of the whole show. It's just something that stuck out to me as a weak point. And then additionally, one other thing that I really did not like was when they snuck Leia out just by like putting her under a coat. Like, just put her in like a box and roll her, pretend like it makes sense. I thought that was just silly. And they didn't even make a joke about it. It would have been different if they kind of used it as a little bit of a comedy gag. But they kind of just had her walking, and it looked really, really ridiculous. That to me was like the one like silly thing. It just could have been easily rewritten to I think flow better on screen. So that stuck out to me as well. I think some folks are going to complain a little bit about the maybe some of the goofiness in general in the episode, like I just called out. And I guess maybe growing up as a fan of the prequels, I'm just okay with some cheesy dialogue and some more like campy stuff in my Star Wars. And I expect serious moments as well. Don't get it twisted. But I guess maybe I'm a little more like cool with it. I see a lot of that in the animation as well as in the prequels. And so it's just kind of something I expect from Star Wars. So I think maybe for folks who are looking for more maybe serious and moments might be a little disappointed in some of those scenes. And overall, why did I rank this episode lower? You might say, Josh, you said some positives, you said very few negatives. Why did I rank it lower? Well, a couple reasons. The episode went too quick. It moved really fast. I felt like the jump from the back to the tank to the let's get the troops together and rally was so quick. It was a blink of an eye. And overall, the retrieval mission was pretty quick as well. So I just felt like it was kind of just a real skimmed through moment, and I wish it would have maybe had a little more time to breathe as an audience member. And additionally, when you compare it to episode 1, which I think absolutely nailed the tone, the heart, the emotions, just absolutely phenomenal, and episode 3, which had I think some really great moments between Vader and Obi-Wan in particular, this one just falls below that for me. I'll be curious to see what the community's response is. Our good friend Ben and Jimmy, guys, we're going to be on the stream tomorrow night. It's going to be Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We always have a diverse range of opinions. Typically, Jimmy is kind of our more positive, likes most things Star Wars. I'm a little bit more in the middle, and Ben is our old, cranky guest, and so I'll be very fascinated to see his opinion on this. I'm sure he'll have some critique. But we are 4 episodes in, so we are, as I said at the beginning, over the halfway point. We have about 2 episodes left, and I'm very curious to see how the show is going to wrap. I'm expecting some confirmation on the Reva backstory. I'm expecting some sort of fight. I don't know if it's going to be Obi-Wan and Reva and Vader in a 2v1. I still think Reva might team up with Obi-Wan to fight Vader, which could be interesting if done well. I mean, that's really what I'm excited for, is just good lightsaber fights. I don't necessarily care who's in them if it makes sense from a narrative perspective. So I'm expecting that in the last episode. And the question remains, will we get a season 2 of Kenobi? Well, I go back and forth on if I want that or not. Part of me would be happy just to see a little bit of an adventure that took place in those 20 years between Revenge of the Sith and Kenobi. I think that would be kind of cool just to look in, but I don't need a moment by moment. I know some fans are going to want to see more with young Luke, I expect. I think that'll probably be a common request from fans, but I think any other story you tell might be a little contrived. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me and be, I'll be wrong. But I think season 1 is probably all I need at this point, but we'll find out. Let me know what you guys think of the episode down below. We are 4 in. I think the big thing from fans is going to be, is the show living up to the hype? And for some, I think it will be, and for others, it won't be. It remains to be seen for me. I keep saying this. Like, I have to see all 6 episodes. Like, I thought Game of Thrones was fantastic, and then I saw all the seasons, and now I don't think highly of it at all. So if the last 2 episodes are absolutely terrible, well, it'll impact my opinion. If the last 2 episodes are absolutely phenomenal, then it's going to impact my opinion. So right now, I'm pleased with Kenobi. I'm not disappointed. I think it's been better than Mando Season 1, Book of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, definitely better than. Mando Season 2 is a tricky one because there were some really great moments in there. But Mando Season 2 leaned a lot into fan servicey stuff, which I just ate up. Ahsoka, Luke's return, Bo-Katan, so many really cool things there. So I don't know if I'm being biased, but I think Mando Season 2 is right up there with Kenobi. So excited for these last 2 episodes. I've been having fun so far. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for all upcoming Star Wars news. Andor is only a couple months away now, guys. So another show is on the horizon. Until then, guys, we'll see you again very soon.